Hi everyone, my name is Andres Hobbs and this is my Shadow Leadership presentation. So the place that I decided to shadow a leader was the Brainerd Co-op or the Crowing Co-op. And the person I interviewed was Angela Fox. She's the manager there. But to start out, have you guys ever been to a store or heard of a place, like a business, where the members are the people that get to put a lot of input and have a lot of say in what goes on? And that's what a co-op is. So let's see. So I would say my main points are that, so I interviewed her and I interviewed a couple employees and I just analyzed her leadership and I observed her leadership. And yeah, some of the main points are just like how she ran the business and her leadership style based on some of the charts in the book. And that's what we'll be discussing today is her leadership style and what I observed. So this is the interview that I had with Angela Fox. So Angela Fox is the general manager at Crowing Food Co-op. She has 7 employees, and she said that when I asked her, what are the mission and values of this organization? And she said that we want to help sustain the local food chain. We want to help farmers and growers and distributors. We also want to have a place for them to sell their goods, and we want to have a community where people can come to. And so in the hierarchical structure, she's the general manager. She has one assistant manager, and the rest of the people there are the staff. So she told me her official title is the general manager, and she told me her different things she does are like her key roles and responsibilities are hiring, firing, training employees. She handles all the finance decisions, and she does lots of the ordering and inventory. She decides what products come in and come out. And let's see. So she told me that she worked at a couple other businesses. Let's see. She said she worked at a food handler service and a life preserver, Natural Foods in Baxter, and she was the manager there for several years. She said she learned about health and a lot about supplements and learned what goes into taking care of your body. And let's see. One of the biggest accomplishments, and this one hits home for me, is that she, so there used to be like a smaller, same business, but a smaller location. And I grew up going to that one with my family. And then now they have a big location, which I'll show you guys a picture of later on in this. Let's see. Yeah, so they went from like 300 square feet to about 4,000, which is pretty cool, honestly. Let's see. And that was like their biggest milestone, she said, that they've been growing. And let's see. Yeah, how big its store grew. Let's see. And next, let's see. I wanted to add that she worked there for 3 to 3.5 years at this co-op. Here's how Angela would evaluate her own leadership. So on page, what is it right now? 42, there's a chart that talks about different styles of leadership, like democratic, authoritarian, and I don't know how to pronounce it. Laissez-faire, I think is how the pronunciation. But I showed her that chart, and I just kind of had her look over it and like had her evaluate her leadership based on that chart. So one of the quotes I have is she said, "I love communication. I really like to get involved with my employees and studying goals. I also like to ask for their input before we change any procedures or policies. What's working?" Like she'll say, for example, "What's working for you guys? What can we, or what should we change?" Let's see. And she said, I really want to have my workers be in a place where we reward good work with good rewards. Like she really wants to reward her workers, when they do a good job. And we try to do fun things all the time, she said. And she said, I think I'm a good listener. I try to meditate when there are, or mediate, sorry, mediate when there are any issues between employees. We don't have very much. And I think that's, really for me, unique in our workplace. Because I've been at places, I was working at a grocery store this past summer, actually, where, I just always felt nervous, I felt a lot of stress there just because it wasn't a great workplace. People were nice there. I mean, like I had some friends there, but It just wasn't really a healthy workplace environment. So I think really to have a place like that where people can feel comfortable is really a huge thing. Like for example, like democratic leadership style is very awesome because like she said, there's very open communication. People aren't afraid to say different, like share their opinion. And yeah, so I think it was really cool to learn about her evaluation. So my evaluation of Angela's leadership, a few things. So when I observed there a few days, and something I really observed was just everyone was very comfortable there, and when she was communicating with her employees, I could really tell that there was very open communication. She wasn't like when she asked her employees to like do a task, for example, like when she asked someone to go help out at the front register, um, she was asking them, like she was smiling, she asked nicely. And I've been in workplaces myself where that's not always the case. You just feel like, because obviously you're at work, you have to go do your job, but like you almost feel pressured into doing it. And I think that's some of the keys of democratic leadership are facilitates discussion with followers. And even in her interview, she said, "Yeah, I try to mediate, if there is any conflict, but we really don't have any conflict." She said that often because we all are, like she even put it, like we're like a big family. And that's really what I observed a lot. And I observed, and this is a quote from the table 2.1 on page 42. Provides frequent positive feedback, and that's something I observed. She was always being very positive, like, "Oh, good job, guys! Thanks for doing that." And like, there were, actually a great example is there were muffins in the back, and she was just offering, "Oh, and does anyone want a muffin? Does anyone want this?" And there was just a lot of joking. And I think in a workplace there's a fine line between like joking, all the time and not getting a lot done, as opposed to getting a lot of work done and still having time to be in a good atmosphere. And I just really observed a positive atmosphere. And like this is actually interesting. She says mediates conflict for group pain, and that's really what I observed. Or well, that's based on her quote. Like she, mediates any problems that happen. And she also said like she rewards good work and uses punishment only as a last resort. I don't know about use punishment because we didn't really touch on that. But yeah, I observed her always giving positive feedback, and reward in the way of positive feedback as something she was doing. And I didn't really I guess let's see, let's try to think. um Honestly, I really can't think of like any recommendation I have for her. I think just like keep doing what she's doing because that's kind of what a co-op is it's everyone has a say, and it just feels like a very positive workplace environment. And yeah, honestly, I think she's doing a really good job. She was very positive, she was very kind to everyone, and and it was really nice for her to let me come in and do this interview, guys. Like it was really cool. Yeah, this is the leadership, the followers evaluation of the leader. So I talked to one employee, her name is Marley, and she said she's very straightforward, she's very good with her words, what she needs done she gets across quickly, and she's very patient, which I think is good because when you first read that you might think, oh, she's just like very straightforward, very blunt, but she said no, she's very patient. And I think when I spoke to Angela, which is the manager, she even said, I really want to, I'm kind of summarizing this, but she putting in my words, but she like said essentially that she really wants she wants to give her employees what they need to be successful, and she really wants to be patient with them and help them really do the best job they can and be the best employees they can be. And yeah, let's see. And also she says great communication, which is really good. And what I observed is when I was there is that everyone just looked really happy. They were joking around, but they were still accomplishing a lot. One other term I wanted to talk about is supportive leadership. On page 82, it's defined as interpersonal communication focusing on concern for the, sorry about the oven in the background. It's interpersonal communication focusing on concern for the needs and well-being of followers and the facilitation of a desirable climate for interaction. And I think that's really, this workplace is, the co-op is really a prime example of that because, when you go in there, everyone is very happy, and Angela even said, like, I'm very patient with people. I really want them, to feel like a family here, and have a community, have be a community. I think that's really what a co-op is about too, is everyone gets input, everyone, really is, part of one big family. And I think it's really cool to observe that, because like I said before, you don't really see that a lot in um this day and age, especially with big companies, But that was really cool to observe, and it really is definite. Like it shows that this really is a supportive. Her leadership is very a supportive leadership style, and it shows throughout the um organization. So in summary, first I want to say this was a very interesting project. I really did learn a lot. It was really fun to kind of get out of my comfort zone and observe someone in a place that I don't normally go that often, but a place that I really do like and respect. But it was the main points I would say in my um presentation are, her leadership style is very democratic, based on what I observed and what she said and what she's looked at in the chart, and just based on what her employees said too. And yeah, I think it was just really interesting to see that kind of leadership, because I think that, you see it a lot, but you don't see it. It's interesting just observe it because, I don't know, it's not like, I haven't seen that a lot I know it's like a thing a lot, but I haven't seen it a lot, in the workplaces I've been at, or at least this past summer when I was working at a grocery store. So it's kind of cool to see that a really good, positive workplace where everyone feels comfortable. I wanted to add is that these are some pictures of the store I took one of the days I was there. I just wanted to show you guys some pictures of the co-op.